This is an introduction to identity development sessions, which we call ID sessions. It's a process of exploring identity through the power of our human interconnectedness. So what is an identity? Well, I'd say it's the part of us which would not be in the world if we weren't here. It's what makes us unique, irreplaceable, and 100% our own. But for many of us, there have been profound challenges. Why? Well, in recent decades, psychology has emerged with an answer. Many of us were traumatized by childhood events, which have then echoed throughout our adult lives. These early events can seem small and insignificant, or large and very consequential. But either way, if there isn't enough support to integrate and release the impact of the trauma, it can threaten our survival and development. And then this is especially true when we are very young. So how do we manage? We split. Splitting is a natural and appropriate human response to trauma. We've been doing it since conception, as our cells split exponentially and we grow in the womb. So when traumatizing experiences hit us, we also split. As the founder of our method, Dr. Franz Rupert explains.
I made this model of the personality that is split after a traumatic experience. And my idea is, and my experience is, that if we were before the traumatic experience, we were a person, a whole person somehow. A whole person, an integrated person. After the experience of a trauma, we are split in 3 different parts of personality. And the one part I call the healthy part. The second part I call the traumatized part, and the third I call the surviving parts.
So in this ID model, we have our healthy parts, which have stayed whole enough for us to function, grow, and engage in life. Now, healthy is somewhat of a misnomer because, in essence, the other 2 category of parts are healthy too, because they have protected us after the traumatization, enabling us to continue on with our daily lives. How have they done this? Well, the traumatized parts have taken the hit. Like any wound, they have absorbed and hold our traumatic experiences. They are kept hidden deep in our unconscious. Now, the third category, survival parts, help to repress the traumatic experiences in order to survive and to prevent further trauma. They do this by designing our unique survival strategies, and then they create systems of behavior patterns that keep us safe and protected. So in situations where there is danger, they can be hyperactive, aggressive, controlling, eager to please, anything that works. What's important about all of these split parts is that they're normal, essential, and life-saving. Like superheroes and heroines, they're always doing their best to meet our challenges and keep us safe. So what is the cost of splitting? Well, splitting denies access to our full selves. It diminishes our capacity to be engaged, expressive, creative, and relational. It uses our energy and resources to keep the trauma memories buried, and then maintains our survival strategies instead of nourishing and supporting our ability to live fully. Now, splitting can also set up internal conflicts. Survival parts can actually become adversarial if they're formed at different ages or if they have different perceptions of what is needed to survive. Now, these conflicts can then cause internal tensions, confusion, and anxiety. But ID sessions let us reconnect with these split off parts by a process called resonating.
I feel sort of like 20s.
Yeah,
like
I really resonate with
all
that
of the chaos
feeling
going around and it's
of
these ideas.
It's something
freedom,
that's
and
part of
I'm
my
just
development right
feeling
now.
like my mom and my dad
It's like
superficially interact.
It's an idea.
Like I really get
The
that.
idea
That's
of
definitely been my
freedom.
attitude.
So Dr. Franz Rupert, who developed this method, points out that this begins at conception as we work to bond with our mother and grow in the womb. We end up receiving and transmitting massive amounts of data, both with her and through our own developing network of interacting systems. including the nervous system, neural system, bacterial, digestive. And this resonating continues after birth, evolving into a felt sense of what is happening beneath the surface in our environment and with those around us. A sense that is necessary to survive, adapt, and grow. A sense that is refined and refocused by Dr. Rupert's process in an ID session. So what are the components of a session? There are 5. The first is the subject, the individuals whose parts are being explored.
Allison, would you resonate my eye, please?
Next is the sentence of intention. This is a statement explaining what we want to explore. Now, a sentence of intention can be an actual sentence, a list of words, or even a drawing, which will then be split into 3 parts that tune into and unlock the configuration of split parts that live inside of us, many of whom have been buried, lost, or forgotten. The last 3 components of a session are the 3 resonators. Each bring that felt sense to the word that they are assigned. By resonating, they help us hear the stories of our split off parts, honoring them, and then bringing them home.
Her being the victim played a huge
I want to give myself a big hug.
I feel sad that I didn't get that.
I'm so happy we're connecting.
In the process, these parts get to let go of their pain, fear, and suffering. And then we gain back our energy and creativity, and we also release our limiting patterns, our maladaptive coping strategies, and the blocks we have to loving relationships. Though accessing these parts can be easy through this process, unwinding enough of the survival strategies so that significant shifts can be felt may take time. Now, we recommend at least 6 sessions as the subject, and then you allow 3 weeks between each session for integration. Now, we also suggest that you observe and resonate often in other people's sessions, because this expands the understanding of your own split parts and those of others. If this is your first session, know that you are not alone. Every one of us is doing this work to continue to find our way, which is what growing is all about, isn't it? As Franz Rupert notes, the definition of a human being is to grow from whatever you consider to be the beginning onwards. So welcome.